I'm back.
Puyo Puyo.
Okay. I guess it's very fitting that I have a puzzle game stream tonight, so that I can just kind of ramble about what I've been up to lately.
Puyo Puyo.
Get it. Yep. Okay. Swirl round and round. So it's been a minute since my last stream. Pretty much I just wasn't in the mood to stream, because I was busy with convention prep and I had a great time. I went to SakuraCon in Seattle. It was great. I had a lot of fun. It was probably the most time spent, well, let me fix this, I need to fix... Just use a different driver than... OpenGL just doesn't seem to work when emulation... Okay. No more cool NTSC filter, but I think, I mean, my graphics card has seen better days, but also OpenGL just doesn't seem to mesh well with emulation nowadays. I guess unless you're using something, you know, like RetroArch is pretty well optimized, so like it can do a lot with that. Maybe it's just... I don't know, it seems to be buffering or chugging or something. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure what it's doing. Video interface... Turn that off. Just colors. That's all good. I don't know, I'll live with it. I can't for the life of me find, like, a decent emulator that can run, like, Sega Genesis and stuff without issues. The one I was using... I mean, I was using Blastum before, and that one just started crashing. So... There might be something wrong on my end. I'll have to attend to that. But anyways, Puyo. I'm just gonna be talking about, what I've been doing for a bit while I get started here in Puyo World. I've played Puyo before on stream, a long time ago. I want to say 2 years. Back when I was a little bit more actively streaming. I was doing like Puyo and Tetris back to back, that kind of thing. Because I eventually want to end up playing, you know, the Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 and 2, which are, you know, really good really good puzzle games. We'll get there eventually, but
Puyo Puyo.
oh, for now you get this. Yeah, I think I just need to fix my graphics card, or I don't know. We'll see. I do have to go in my. I have to dust off my hardware too, so that can contribute to a lot of like overheating and stuff. Anyways, yeah, I had a lot of fun at SoccerCon. Love going to Seattle. It's one of my places to be. And it's probably the most time I've spent playing arcade games, because wow, did I play a lot of arcade games that weekend. Because SoccerCon is pretty known for the arcade that they have. They will every year they've had like, you know, Japanese machines and other machines as well in the giant you know, hall of the convention center. Steal. That makes it taller.
Puyo Puyo.
Okay. Just test it out here. Get myself warmed up a little bit while I'm still kind of rambling. But yeah, I went solo. Okay, it's still chugging. I don't think there's anything I can do to fix that. So sorry. I had a very enjoyable time. This was my first time in a couple years, 2-3 years, going solo. In the past, I've gone with, you know, my partner or one of my good friends, who's also a con goer. But yeah, it was nice to get out of the house and what is happening? Oh, okay. You couldn't let me finish my combo. But yeah, and it's the first time in a while that I got to wear cosplays, which I used to do often when I was like, you know, a young adult. I'm no longer that, I guess, but it was really nice. I don't really have much else to say about it, but you know, I looked around at, like, you know, Artist Alley just to gauge interest and get ideas for my own stuff. So yeah, met some really cool people, as usual, and I did some fun things too. Most of it was gaming related. I spent most of the weekend playing, you know, rhythm games and driving games, all different kinds of arcade machines. Gosh, there were just so many. That's almost overwhelming. I even like when I arrived on Thursday, that evening I headed to GameWorks because I hadn't been there in a hot minute. Last time I went there was like pre-pandemic, before they shut it down and rebuilt it. They've kept most of their like old machines, so they have like, you know, the carnival games and stuff, but they also have, you know, a couple fighting game machines, and they have their big like Daytona cabs, and they still have that floating car. So yeah, that was a fun night, and then yeah, I basically got my arcade fix the whole weekend. I guess that's about it. And then I came home, and you know, I don't really deal with like post-con depression or anything. You know, at worst I'll be a little sleepy, or occasionally come down with, you know, Confred, but no, it was fine this time. But my sleep was just really bad. I was sleeping in way too much and staying up late. And that's why that essentially is why I wasn't feeling up to stream. So, you know, it happens. But now, yeah, I'm back for now, and you know, I'll be hanging out and working on some important stuff for, you know, the table and everything, because there's a chance I might hear back from one of the events I signed up for in May. There's a chance I got waitlisted for one of them, so there's a chance that I will luck out and get into their event again this year. I will reveal more if it happens. But really, you know, I'm really just focused on... I'm trying to focus on, you know, making more things. Because it's just something I seem to struggle with more these days. You know, you spend most of your life doing, you know, drawing and graphic design and, you know, sketching in a sketchbook, you know, as something as simple as that. But then when it comes down to, like, you know, how you want to turn that into a business, yeah, it's not easy. I'm sure most people are aware. That's part of the reason why I was so reluctant to not stop taking, you know, computer science classes, because I was so heavily opposed to making a business out of my art, because I thought it's not gonna do anything for me. It's not gonna, you know, allow me to survive. People don't pay artists to do things. That's crazy. They do. I mean, I was proven wrong, more or less, because, you know, the vast world that we live in, you know, there's plenty of room for you know, sharing, you know, creations, and, you know, making people satisfied, and there's an outlet for that. I just wasn't aware at the time. outlet. So that's where I am now. You know, mostly same as usual. Oh yeah, and then there's the cat situation. So I mentioned who's here. As I mentioned before, I've been doing a, you know, sort of rescuing mission, I guess. Nothing like official. We just, you know, took in a few strays and
Puyo Puyo.
had them fixed and sent them back. We kept two. We kept two of them. Because they're both very docile and do not seem to want to be, you know, outdoor cats. So we kept them. They're still here. One of them is asleep behind me on the couch. His name is Jerry, and he's very sweet. We gave him that name. And the other one is a tortoiseshell calico mix. Her name is Callie. And she is the more wild cat. She is, you know, proving, you know, she's not like wild, she's not like, you know, ferocious or anything, she's not like feral, but she is, you know, she needs to be tamed, she needs to be socialized, you know, get used to being around people. And I think we're making some progress. It's only been a little over a month. It's only been a little over a month, so we're just sort of, you know, seeing where things go with her. And that's just, I mean, so far so good. So far so good. I mean, I don't get to see her that often. She spends most of the day, you know, hiding in the spaces where she's safe. I don't really bother her that much, so. Just trying to see if I can, I don't think there's anything I can do. Y'all are just gonna have to deal with this, like, these, like, quick pauses in the middle, because, I don't know, I need to do some maintenance on my machine, so yeah. Those rambles out of the way. Let's get started. It is delicious. It's nice. I'm standing upright. No, steeped in luck. This will be an easy win. Don't prepare yourself here. Okay. Okay, so this is Puyo. Most people know it. If you're like, you know, in the retro gaming scene, you've probably heard of it. It's a fun puzzle game. I enjoy it a lot. I have my occasional, you know, Puyo phase. I haven't played it much recently, but it doesn't seem that I've lost my Puyo gumption. My Puyo gumption. And so what's unique about this one is, the mechanic of, you know, attacking an opponent with the Puyos, you can see there in the corner. There's no, you cannot, decrease that amount. There are no, like, rebounds. You basically get what you're given. And there's no way out of it. So it's a little unbalanced. But I don't know, I think I still like this style fine. It's not the competitive standard, it really hasn't been for a long time. But I mean, I'm not one to speak about the competitive history, but it's best to assume that Puyo 1 is not feasible in that field. Which kind of makes the game more of a casual cakewalk, because it kind of starts you off slow, and then, you know, you kind of get combos down pretty easily, and it's really, you don't really have to know, like, meta. You don't have to know meta combos, unless you're doing, like, you're competing, or you know, if you're doing, like, intense Puyo stuff, you don't really need to know the meta in terms of, like, the types of combos you can use. You can just stack as you see fit, and you'll get you know, pairs, or you know, groups of 4, and so it's pretty easy going, if you ask me. I feel like I'm more of that kind of Puyo player, and less of the, you know, intense, you know, competitive play. What's this guy's beef? They're just getting mad at me. This is literally just, like, the kid comes across these creatures and they want to fight for some reason. I really don't. There's not much rhyme or reason in the beginning of Puyo, because I mean, you'll see how seriously it takes itself story-wise. They just wanted to make a cute puzzle game. A whimsy puzzle game. Whimsical. That's easy mode. This far, man. Whoops. I didn't mean to skip it. But he was just saying do the next challenge.
Puyo Puyo. Draco Centauros? Draco Centauros? Oh yeah, also this game, I mean, I'm sure most people know this game became, you know, it was localized as a Sonic game. Sonic's not in it, though. It's just Robotnik. It's Robotnik and his, like, goons designed by, like, the, you know, I forget his name, but the animator who worked on Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So, this became Mean Bean Machine.
and that sort of became the association. And I am going to try to beat this game, because, the first time I played it, I got pretty... I actually got pretty close to the end. I just wasn't aware. I was like... I got stuck at a certain spot, so I was just like, yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's enough, you know. I'm not gonna make it to the end, right? So I just left it at that. Turns out, I was just a few opponents away from beating the main story, so... Pardon me. It's the expression. It's, This little baby with no legs, just a foot, I guess. A big old foot. Okay. It's literally hard. All she does is sing. Hey you. So sorry, man. Okay. Exceedingly polite, but still has to fight you for some reason. You darn tootin'. Uncultured snob? Hey, I guess I should mention, this is a, translation patch. I actually stumbled upon this earlier today. There are a few games that I had that weren't, translated, so I decided to look at a website for translations, and I found one for this one. It's strange because they haven't translated the second game yet. No one's translated Puyo Puyo 2. I would think, because it's like the more commonly played Puyo game. Okay, he's like a zombie or something. Weech. She's just rude. Most of these guys are just rude. They're not even like powerful or anything. They're just like rude. I like how similarly paced this is to like an old webcomic or like a Flash cartoon or whatever. I kind of get that vibe. In a good sense, not like a bad thing. I'm more receptive to that because I grew up with old internet stuff. Tough. Ugh, she got me again. It's always this one. Start to fall faster, which does throw me off sometimes. I gotta get used to it. There's something. There we go. She doesn't really focus on chains in this one. Usually when you fight Witch, she is all about chains, and she will, like, wallop you with multiple clears. The elephant just looks like... Oh god. Indian. Oh. Oh yeah, because it's an elephant. I knew that. Moved faster, so like, yeah, look at a little bit. I remember struggling against this guy before. Maybe I was on normal diff. I'm on the easiest diff right now. Oh no, I'm thinking of the bull man. Oh, this guy. Come on. I just want your power. Oh, so this is what he's all about. Is it Dark Mage? There's a whole thing about this guy if you play Puyo Tetris, you'll learn a lot about him. Okay, I'm at the part where I got stuck. That's dangerous.
need to remember that the pieces set faster in this game than they do other puzzle games, because especially as it speeds up, you get less time to, you know, rotate when you touch the bottom. If I'm remembering right, the next two opponents after this one, they're not that hard. From what I remember. I could be wrong. I could be thinking about a different video. Okay. That didn't take too long. Yeah, I was 2 opponents away from the end. In chat. Never mind. Ooh. No, come on. Seriously. Completely denied. I was denied. Do I just do, like, single clears, focus on the small chains, or... This is kind of where you kind of gotta let luck kick in a bit. No! That's right. on. Yes, please, please go this way. Okay. Can I do it? There we go. Like your face there. Alright. We're at the end already. Oh? It's a line that cliche can only... Oh, flashing lights. Flashing lights one. I should have said that at the beginning. So there's Santa. There's you know, there's hidden lore if you play the RPGs that these are based on. Mado Monogatari. You get to learn more about these characters. I haven't touched those games, but I don't know. Maybe in my spare time. Why do you get custom sound effects? Am I seriously? Okay, no, he's hardy. He might... Okay, maybe not. Maybe he just overflows immediately. Okay. Without much rhyme or reason, the hellstorm of Puyo abated. Shezowegi.
Carbuncle. I like how small Carbuncle was. It started off as a tiny 16 by 16 pixel thing. Alright. Well, here's props to the translation team, the folks who translate this. Thank you, Radio Tales. Lost in Localization, Snowy Aria, Popinini, Jate. Seagull, Nasina, Relakimus. E122 Psy worked on this. I didn't know that. I know that one. Software designers. UI, Lab 313, Exodus. Square Jack, Puyo Puyo World, Kirby's Avalanche. I guess that makes sense, because that's another... It also got localized as a Kirby game, so... That makes sense. Monitani, I heard that the creator of Puyo is supposedly working on his own game. Let's see. Yeah, the creator of Puyo, Nitani, I heard that apparently he was thinking about, was developing like a new game, like a puzzle-ish game. I don't know. I didn't look too deep into it, but. Yeah. That's Puyo. Now we just move on, I guess. I didn't think I'd... That didn't take even an hour. So, I guess I'll just move on to the next game. Why are you fast? Speed. Oh. I don't know why it's at maximum speed. That's weird. That is scary. Okay. Turn this up a little bit. Is that good, chat? Okay, this one should not be like chugging or anything. I'm pretty sure. It shouldn't. It should be fine. NES is easy. Change the game.
It only has the Super Tetris 2. The Super Famicom version. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do the main Tetris first, and then 'cause that one shouldn't take very long. Let's do. Oh yeah, we have to do all the types. I'm not gonna complete this one. Just maybe I'll try to beat the contest mode for Bombliss. Oh man, I'm already having a bad weird time. Why is it? Why are my... Oh, my turbos are swapped. You don't need turbos for this. But yeah. This is Tetris. We all know Tetris. This might be one of my favorite Tetrises. I mean, it has the regular Tetris, but it also has a new Tetris that plays really well, and I really like how it works. It's fun, it's chill. Does it have different music? It does! We got different music, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binaries. I forgot about that. It was a neat Easter egg. I really feel like Bulletproof shouldn't have fallen out, fallen out of favor. Because I believe they were the ones who worked closest to, the creator, the owner of Tetris, the creator of the game. This Japanese company worked closest with him. Arguably closer than Nintendo, we don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming, because I just feel like some of the ideas seem, you have the ones like, Tetris, and there's some other weird Tetris variants from the mind of Pahitnov, I think that's his name, Alexei Pahitnov. He was I don't know if he's alive, but he had some cool ideas that I feel like could have been built upon some more with the help of Bulletproof Sophomore, because they seem the most willing to, go through with his other ideas. I believe Bulletproof developed, or at least did some, cleanup work for, like, Yoshi's Cookie. They did the Tetris 2, which is like Tetris if it were Dr. Mario, I believe. If you had a Nintendo growing up, you might have had Tetris 2, because it was just one of those games that, I mean, it probably doesn't cost that much, because it wasn't a well-received game, because it's technically not Tetris. It has Tetris pieces in it, but the way you clear, you don't clear lines in that game. You clear like gems, sort of like Dr. Mario, where you have to clear the viruses. So it's more like that. I think maybe they just wanted to, Nintendo wanted another puzzle game from Bulletproof, because they were like their main like third party for like puzzle games. Contractor, I should say. but maybe they just kind of hit a dry spot and just made Dr. Mario without Mario. So I don't quite know what became of Bulletproof, if they broke off into a different company or went on to do, like, you know, the later Tetris stuff, like with Arika and everything. It's possible. I wouldn't doubt it for a minute. It's like Arika's Tetris goes way hard, to a fault sometimes. I don't know. I would consider myself a Tetris enjoyer. I wouldn't consider myself a, you know, a competitive player. I'm not a game breaker either. I haven't done any of the, you know, what do you call it, dead screens or whatever. I haven't done any of that. I don't do any of that. I just like the puzzle game because it's fun and, you know, feeds that part of my brain that craves, you know, this sort of precision puzzle gaming. That's a good term for, like, a genre, or like a subgenre. Like precision platformer. They should have precision puzzle games. I'm a little rusty on my Tetris. I haven't really touched it since I got all Chivos in Tetrachroma a few months ago. I haven't really played much Tetris. I got to level 10. It's something. Alright. So that's type A. What's type B? Just gives me a height. Like, what is the height? I like that it's different music. This is definitely, like, you know, design-wise, like graphic design-wise, this is a really pretty NES game. This was like the standard during the sort of early, you know, post SNES launch era of Nintendo. Like, you had all the shovelware, you had all the, you know, the slop. But there were some gems. There were some gems from that era that I really, you know, look up to and admire. It's like, you can't really see that anymore. You can't see, like, you know, AAA companies making games for legacy platforms. I mean, the closest thing you have is like a graphical, like, optimization option so, like, for example, you have Grand Theft Auto, right? You have Grand Theft Auto Online, or 5, or whatever. That game has 2 versions now. You can play, you know, the up-to-date, you know, sort of graphically updated, you know, graphically up-to-date, you know, works for modern, you know, PCs and everything. You have that version, and then you have the legacy version, which is what it used to be. Oh, okay, it just gives me a certain number to clear. Oh, and then it gets higher, okay. So, you know, that's like the closest you get to, like, you know, legacy support. I feel like the market, at least among, you know, the big corporations, is now focused towards, you know,
purely on new stuff, purely on, you know, new platforms, new hardware, new everything. It's just. Well, what's wrong with going back sometimes? You know, what's wrong with regression in regards to, you know, like hardware or systems or, you know, platforms or like even, you know, graphical styles. Nothing's wrong with that because everyone loves, you know, pixel slop, polygon slop, all that stuff. And that's where I think indie games have the upper hand, because an indie game can, you know, cost like, you know, $10 and not take up all your hard drive space and not cause your processor to overheat and, you know, run on older versions of Windows, and, you know, there's just so much more. You would think that those sensibilities of, you know, game publishing, game design would be marketable. Apparently they're not, so. Alright, that's type B. What's this one about? Different music. Oh, okay. I guess I should tell the story of how I stumbled upon this Tetris, this version of Tetris, because again, it's, you know, it's from Japan. It was Japan only. So when I was a teenager, I got big into retro games. I got big into emulation. So I would do a lot of emulation on the MacBook that I had at the time, and I would also like load, you know, custom firmware on my PSP. If you were ever one of those people, you know what that is. You know what that means. And I would just hang out and play, you know, NES games, Super NES, Genesis. Arcade, I had like MAME emulators. Those ran surprisingly well. They ran surprisingly well on like an old, you know, sort of deprecated laptop that I had. Most emulation was like really good. For the Mac especially, there was one developer, I forget his name, Richard Bannister. Richard Bannister, he has a website, I'm pretty sure, and it's probably still up. So if you own a Mac or something and want to look into like gaming on Macs, which, you know, it is what it is now, but you can get, you know, emulators. You can get Richard Bannister's emulators and emulate retro games on your laptop, your MacBook, or what have you. I no longer use a MacBook, but I do use a Mac for my art station. It's a newer Mac. It's a what is it? It's an M3, I think. All right, so that one, it's like it climbs up. Okay, so that's normal Tetris. But I'm not really into that. I mean, it's fine, just that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is Bombliss. Bombliss, I guess I'll let the game explain itself. It's pretty simple.
So yeah, when I was a teenager, I was you know getting into retro games and stuff. So you know I had you know ROM collections on my computer. One of them was you know the no intro NES set. I don't remember where I got it. I think I got it on MU Paradise. If anyone remembers that website, that's where I got my ROMs from. And for a long time, that's where you could get your ROMs from, and it was legal, and no one had any issues with it. Um, but yeah, so like I was just exploring the ROM sets, you know. So I would just look at all the games and not all of them, but like check out the ones that I'm interested in. I guess this was just one of them because like I saw Tetris in the list and I was like, okay, I know I've played the NES Tetris a lot when I you know started getting more into emulation. I would boot up I would boot up you know NES Tetris during class after a test or whatever. And then I saw this one. I was like, huh. What is this one about? Because the Tetris 2 I know isn't Tetris. So like what could this Tetris 2 be, you know? I guess the rest is history because like I just kind of fell in love with this version of Tetris. It became one of my favorites. So if you like Tetris, but you also like your Tetris with a little bit of, you know, zazz or zest or whatever, this is a good one. This is one of the best Tetrises out there, for sure. It's different. It doesn't, you know, you're not clearing lines. You're not clearing lines here. So like in Tetris 2, the other Tetris 2, this is different. You know, you're working with making these, you know, gems or bombs or whatever. And then you collect, you do make lines, but all they do is they add to your, like, firepower. So, like, the more lines you get, the bigger your explosion will be. And, yeah, I fuck with this. I fuck with this hard. It's just a fun new way to enjoy Tetris. You get a pretty good soundtrack to boot. I mean, definitely don't sleep on the soundtracks for Bulletproof's puzzle games. They are quite good. They are quite good. Yeah, because I definitely hear like the sort of Baroque classical, you know, influences. It's very impressive to do on an NES, in my opinion. These are I imagine these are like official. Some of these are like classical pieces that you can find in like a book of songs for like clarinet or whatever. A book of Russian tunes, maybe. This is what I'm used to. Yeah, that's kind of all there is to it. Again, the rest of the game kind of speaks for itself. I think this is a heavily slept on Tetris. So if you like NES games and you like Tetris, definitely play this one. For just, you know, just vibing purposes. It's got the vibes. Whoa, I made a little mistake. So you'll notice as you get further in this game, you will get some unique pieces. I'm surprised I haven't pointed that out already, but I'm just so used to it at this point. But yeah, you get these weird pieces, which can be, you know, not. Some people don't like that. Not. I mean, if you show this to like a casual Tetris player, they will probably look at you like you're drinking something that you shouldn't be drinking. But you know, I don't think I'm a Tetris perv, but I do know a good Tetris game when I see it. So I think the unique pieces can be utilized in a fair manner that isn't, you know. This seems fair to me. If you ask me, this seems perfectly fair. Cause it's a, you know, it's a different game essentially. The goal is different. Like, as long as you can line up enough lines to, you know, explode all the board, you're pretty much good to go. So you shouldn't worry too much about like accuracy or like precision. You know, landing the pieces where you want to land them. It shouldn't be that important. Because the end goal is blowing up the whole board. So just focus on that. Somewhat reminded me that these pieces are utilized in other games, namely the Disney game, the Disney Tetris Challenge, I think. Mickey's Tetris Challenge, Mickey Mouse.
Namely in the battle mode, where you will get giant, weird, oddly shaped pieces placed on your board if your opponent, you know, clears enough lines. You get like punished horribly for it, and it's crazy. It's that now that is kind of pushing it. If you ask me, that I responded. I was like, that is, you're right. This is like almost perverted. So like compared to that, I think this is fine. I like the backgrounds in this one too. I don't think the Super Nintendo one or the Super Famicom one doesn't have these same backgrounds. I think it also has different music, which is not bad, but I feel like the presentation in this one is a bit more quaint. And you know, slash pause, it's more quaint. Which I like. For my puzzle games, I like for them to be, you know, it's got to be, you know, vibes based. Just having these sort of calm, chill vibes. And I'm not saying that the Super Famicom ones don't have chill vibes, because they are similar, but I don't know, something about, you know, 8-bit Nintendo. It hits a lot different. It hits a lot different. Or like, I'm okay saying that like the Super Nintendo isn't my favorite console. It might be like, it's above the Nintendo 64. I would rank it above the Nintendo 64 for me personally. Game Boy would probably go in, let's see, under NES. Under NES and Famicom. Game Boy, I don't know, because I played some good Game Boy games. Game Boy was essentially like a big part of my upbringing, because like I first discovered video games through the Game Boy camera, you know? I was playing with my brother's Game Boy. So I don't know. I'm on this like tangent of like where I rank certain consoles, like Nintendo consoles anymore. NES is probably at the top, if not like, you know, up there. NES and Famicom, they're both the same. Just because I have the most cherished memories with the NES, and I don't know, it just got NES has a unique library. If you try to look at it, I mean, if you're not like a retro head, and you, I mean, if you're not a retro head, you know, if you grew up with games no older than like the Super Nintendo, right? You might have some biases against the NES, and some that are valid. There are, like, you know, there are a lot of limitations, right? That comes with every console. Where am I going with this? I'm just saying, you gotta look at the library, you gotta explore the libraries of the consoles that you're unfamiliar with, and, you know, form your own opinion, obviously. You know, look for games that appeal to you. You know, like, just
if you're looking for something, just look for something that appeals to you. It doesn't have to be, like, amazing. Like, I mean, this certainly, like, this Tetris game isn't, like, the best video game ever, but it's an enjoyable NES game. It's one of my favorite NES games, so you just gotta look for, like, before you form, like, you know, strict biases, like, immediate biases about the NES library, like, just if you look at it at a glance and you're like, this shit's weird, man, there's nothing, it's all, like, you know, sports games, and, you know, they didn't know what they were doing. I'm having a, you know, you have, like, an AVGN moment, right? Where you're like, I don't understand how people played games like these back then. The thing is with me, I did and I didn't. So, like, I was a very picky child. I still am picky about certain things, but when it came to video games, you know, I played with what I had, right? And I guess I was fortunate in that my dad gave us, you know, his childhood friends NES collection. So, like, we had a buttload of games at a certain point. So I was able to pick and choose from a good collection, a big collection of games. There were some that I don't really remember fondly, or, like, didn't really enjoy, but I don't know, I feel like even then, if I'm watching like a you know, if I'm watching, like, a Let's Play, or you know, someone streaming, like, old NES games, and they play Bases Loaded 2 for the NES, right? When I hear that music in that game, I get a nostalgia blast. I get a mini nostalgia blast, because it's like, oh, I remember that game. It was like, I sat with the NES one day and thought, huh, I'll see if there's, like, a fun sports game that I can play. And I just found the Bases Loaded 2, and it was that. I didn't really like it. I didn't end up liking it that much, because there are better NES games for baseball. A couple of them. So, but, you know, regardless, you know, I get that nostalgia blast. And it's just like, I don't get that with other consoles. I don't get that with most other consoles, other than, like, you know, a couple handhelds and like, you know, the GameCube, and a couple, like, PlayStation 1 games, maybe. Like, I don't know, I don't get, it hits hardest when it's NES. I guess that's just because that's the one I grew up with the most. I had an NES in my house from let's see, 2000... It was like 2001, 2001. So around that time, I had an NES in my house until, like, 2010, 2011. Latest was 11, because I remember my brother brought the NES into his room, and I would go in there and you know, we'd play, like, Mario 3 or whatever. And that was, like, I was in high school. I was in high school. My brother was graduating. Oh. So we had our NES for a long time. Alright, I've been rambling a lot about
things that aren't the game that I'm playing. Which is fine, I don't mind doing that. It's nighttime, you know, it's chill hours. I'm actually like, I don't know, maybe my iron supplements are starting to kick in because I feel like I have more patience this time around when I'm streaming. Because for a while it's not like I wasn't enjoying streaming previously, but I don't know, something just felt a little off. Like I was tired or focused on something else. I don't know, I feel better. I feel better this time. I do need to look at my hardware though, because my PC hardware, because I've been experiencing hitches with certain emulators, especially like the PS2 emulator that I was using a couple weeks ago to play like Beatmania and stuff. I was having hitches in that. Fortunately, I've been tinkering with my PS2 again, so for those not in the know, you can mod your PS2 to play pretty much most of it the library. If you have knowledge about like formatting drives, and you know, if you have access to like you can buy like a pre-modded memory card on you know, you can get it. I'm sure you can get them at like a certain independent vendors. I wouldn't recommend Amazon anymore, but they do. I'm sure they do have them there. But you know, use like Newegg or something. You probably find a pre-modded memory card with free Mic boot, and all that basically does is let you plug in USB drives into your PS2. They have to be either FAT32, so like old-fashioned style hard drive format, or the easier way is the way around that is you have to put certain files into your PS2, like custom firmware stuff, to get it to handle exFAT drives. All you have to do is move some files, and it has the custom firmware comes with a way to do that. And yeah, you can load use OPL Manager on your computer to, you know, manage all your games, make sure their names are formatted correctly. I don't know if the latest OPL is finicky about the naming format, but I'd say just do it to be safe. I'm running out of pieces here. So yeah, I did that with my PS2, and I've been playing more PS2 games, because coming out of SakuraCon, I was like, you know, high on the hype of these, you know, mid-2000s arcade games, more like early 2000s, because I was playing stuff from like 2002 or whatever. So yeah, I've just been playing PS2 games. I played a little bit of Gran Turismo 3, which is one of the Gran Turismos that I haven't really touched. I do have it on disc, but it's also on the drive, so... Along with Gran Turismo 4, which I only played a tiny bit of the arcade mode in 4. I know that is the one that a lot of people really like.
And I probably get it now. Because it feels pretty good to drive around in. I've been playing Battle Gear 2, which is another racing game. It is a you know, sort of street course Toge fusion kind of thing. Made by Taito. And I'd say it's definitely an enjoyable it's a fun arcade machine. Like if you have a local arcade that happens to have like Japanese machines, or if you go to cons that have that rent Japanese machines, look for Battle Gear 2 because that one's pretty good. I'm also playing another street racing game, Initial D Special Stage. It's essentially another arcade port. It ports over the first 3 Initial D arcade games. Again, if you have these like in your vicinity, you should probably try them if you like racing games. Yeah, I like. I've also been playing rhythm games, so I'm getting back into pop and music. I played a tiny bit of Beatmania. I've only played Beatmania. The arcade machine at SoccerCon was like the, I don't know, it was probably like 6th or 7th mix, somewhere in there. It's from like 2002. So it's probably like one of the early PS2 games or the later PS1 games, if I had to guess. But I've been playing the console version of 14 or 16, the Empress disc specifically. They had to make 2 discs for the 16th installment, which is crazy. For like just music, like damn. It's really fun. It's really fun. I do like Beatmania quite a bit. Not as much as Pop and Music. I feel like Pop and Music Pop and Music was intended to be a more casual music game with similar loop as Beatmania, and with cute, colorful characters in it. Whereas Beatmania is you're more there for the music and the sort of you have like a music video and it's a little more competitive and intense. Both games are great. If you like rhythm games or are curious about rhythm games, definitely look up those 2. After like so like last year, I got back into playing Osu, which is a fan-made, community-built rhythm game centered around, clicking on the screen like the Elite Beat Agents game. It's basically that for like PC, right? It also has a mania mode, so it has a mode where you can play the game, click on your keyboard to the music, a la Beatmania. And I have to say, it's incredibly responsive. You can have basically no lag, especially if you play it on a CRT. I don't know who does that though. Not with Osu specifically, but like if you had a CRT. If you had a widescreen CRT and hook up Osu to that, you'd be set. But I played it on my normal monitor and it was fine. No lag at all. It was all really up to me being being, you know, precise on time with the music. So I got into that. I first got into it in 2024. Or not first, but you know, because I played a tiny bit of it back when I just had a MacBook. It was just one of the few games that would run on it. So I played that a little bit, and then didn't really touch it after that. I came back to it in 2024 because my friend told me that she and her friends were using it to train for like Counter-Strike, because you know, do a lot of clicking, do a lot of mouse clicking. So the where am I? Trying to make sure I don't get lost in the conversation. Easy to do when you're me. So yeah. So I familiarized myself with Osu in 2024, and it was pretty fun. In 2025, last year, I got like the sweatiest I've ever gotten with video games, I think. Because I would come out of, you know, Osu Mania sessions, pretty sweaty. Like, physically actually sweaty. And it was fun. I liked being able to, you know, challenge myself, to music that I like, you know. It's an enjoyable challenge that I think, you know, if you're like a music expert, or you know, have rhythm in your, you know, running in your veins or whatever, that's definitely one of the things I'd recommend. I feel like if you want a good rhythm game, though, if you want a good rhythm game, a good, you know, casual rhythm game, don't play Osu. Don't play Osu if you just want, you know, something fun with music to play. I feel like don't do Osu, because it is a community built game, right? It is a community run game. Everything made for that game was made by someone in the community. So, and a lot of its challenge revolves around how far are you willing to push yourself? How hard can you make a Mania map, right? Osu is that, a lot of that, because like, even if you just stick to the simple stuff, if you stick to like the easy levels, at the same time, it encourages you to go further, because there are easy maps that don't play like easy maps. There are easy maps that have, you know, advanced patterns in them, advanced like finger patterns, or you know, clicking patterns, you know. So I wouldn't say, I mean, it definitely brings up the difficulty curve, it deepens with that. Because it's all made by different people who have different, you know, skill compasses in their brain, right? So they're just like, I'm gonna give this, you know, I'm gonna give this 2 stars, even though it has, you know, this really hard pattern in it that, you know, a beginner could not do in one take. So Osu requires a lot of repetition. Whereas, you know, if you have some music smarts, you pop open, you know, pop in music, you know, you can start easy, and you kind of know what to expect, because it was all curated to be, you know, published onto a console. So, you know, they had to make sure the game was fair. They had to make sure there were no, you know, difficulty spikes like unreasonable difficulty spikes. That's all I'm saying about Osu, is that there are a lot of unreasonable difficulty spikes that have you glued to a map for hours and hours and hours. I played, there are certain maps that I played, like, 40 to, like, 100 times. And I could not ace that map. I couldn't do it. It wasn't even rated that high. I could not do it. And it just made me really frustrated because it just made me really frustrated, you know? Like, that's kind of not what I want from... I realize now that's not what I want from rhythm games, so that's why I kind of stepped back and took a vow. Like, okay, I'm gonna look for a different rhythm game to play before I hurt my fingers. Because, like, I don't know, I don't think you can hurt your fingers from, like, you know, typing games or whatever. You gotta be careful, but, you know, don't do it for, like, hours on end, but, you know, if you're just doing, like, brief sessions or whatever, you're fine. I get soreness from poppin' music because, especially if I hit the buttons with my palms. If I hit the buttons with my palms, they're gonna be sore. Just a little bit. But yeah, that's basically my I won't call it a beef, it's just my realization that Osu just wasn't the rhythm game that I was looking for. So, and it was basically, yeah, like, now I know, like, when I said unreasonable difficulty spikes, that's sort of where it all the wires, you know, became all the wires crossed, and I was like, I get it now. So yeah, if you like, you know, rhythm games and stuff, definitely stick to, like, the sort of, you know, the official, like, casual ones, like, you know, Beatmania, Poppin' Music, and other ones too, like, Taiko no Tatsujin. Get yourself a Taiko drum. You can get one at, like, you could probably find one at Best Buy, I bet. Because those games are not Japanese exclusive anymore. You can get, like, a PS4. You can get, like, a PS4 Taiko drum. And they don't run that expensive, as far as I know. Only if they're from Japan. Cause you can get, like, cause they make them for Switch, they make them for consoles, for sure. You've got, like, third-party companies doing that and stuff. They got third-party companies for, like, Beatmania and Poppin' Music, but those ones run more expensive. Cause those are... You're basically paying someone to do a DIY project. So... I wouldn't recommend that. If you can find, like... For Poppin' Music, you'll probably... You can find one of the PlayStation 1 controllers or PS2 controllers, like the small ones. Those ones might be good. I think those ones are fine. The one I have is a PS1 model. I was fortunate enough to find, an arcade-style controller on Baiyi. It's one of those services that lets you buy stuff from Japan, basically. Do I recommend it? Not in the current climate, but, there are some items on there that don't charge much for, like, they don't charge as much as you would expect. So, like, definitely check, like, the different services for that if you're looking for a nice Poppin' Music controller. They are out there. They are out there, they're just being hoarded. It low-key sucks. Because you have, like, rhythm game fanatics who are just, like, you know, trying to get good at every rhythm game. So they buy all the peripherals. I'm just assuming that. I don't think that it can't be that widespread. I mean, most of the tryhards are just playing Osu anyways, so... And, like, the rest of them are in Japan, they have the arcade machine, so... And, like, you can play pop music at the arcades now, I think. If you go to Around 1, they just released a new pop music machine. Like, out west. Like, the first ever pop music got a Western release. I think it's called High Cheers. And it's a, completely reworked... Not completely reworked, but, like, physically the machine looks different. It has like a digital touchscreen, along with the main game screen. I'm assuming they did that for, like, convenience sake. 'Cause you can, like, you know, set different options for, like, how you want to play, on a separate screen. So yeah, like, I actually want to go back to my nearest Round 1, see if I can play some pop music on a machine. But I do have the home console versions, and I have the arcade-style controller. I can only use it on my PS2, it does not work on PC. The only ones that work on PC are the PS2 and PS1, like, small, like, compact controllers. And then they have, like, they have the premium controller that came out during the pandemic. Those are pretty expensive, because they didn't make the game. I'm just kind of having a good time vibing and chatting with this puzzle game. I'm gonna try to get to the end. I'm not far, I'm getting closer, so... It's getting a little harder. Ugh. Here's where it gets a little crazy with these new pieces. Nope. Okay, there's something. Oh. I screwed up. How am I going? How am I going? How long have I been going? That's 2 hours. It feels like it's been going on for longer. What the heck? There we go.
Oh, fine. Whew. Alright, we're slowly approaching the end. Let me choose the let me choose the music. I mean, I'm glad I've been able to cover up the music with my talking, but... Damn it. Ugh. Alright. Whew, okay. Almost got it. Huh. I kind of talked my... I feel like I talked a lot. I talked a lot this stream. Kinda letting my throat rest.
Sorry if you start hearing cat noises. The cat has awoken. Because when they start doing their caterwauling or whatever. Oh, come on. Oh. Why'd you do that? What's wrong with me? Applying it there, causing them to fall. Yep, here he comes. Oh, finally. Oh, okay, just one more. there, one in the middle. Oh no. The accursed plus sign. Oh no. I feel like of all the pieces, the plus sign is probably the worst one. It's not too bad because you stick it in a spot that has an opening. Yes. Ugh. Dang it. I didn't see that. Was it? Just forgot that. There's an opening there. Please give me something good. Line piece? Oh. Brr. Jerry found himself a toy. Oh. He can have it. It's not dangerous.
boy. Yes. Oh, huge. Yes. Oh, what? Okay. Whew. Oh, I think I remember this one. That should do it. Whew. Okay. We're at the 2:30 mark. I will probably finish this around 3 hours. Ugh. That's all I could get. Oh, there's something. I feel like once you place them down a few times, the new pieces aren't too bad to deal with. It's more circumstantial. Depends on how your puzzle looks. Say like that plus. Most of the time I have somewhere to put the plus, but not that time. Oh god, not the S. Oh, hey. I got rid of them. Oh. No. 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 Okay. Yeah, I noticed, you get to keep your score in this one. This is not really a score, it's just like endurance points. But you get to keep them if you lose the puzzle. That's generous. That's awfully generous of a puzzle game. I had it going, I had it good going. I had it going good for a second there. Oh, wait. Whew. Okay. Not quite. Hopefully y'all aren't going crazy from the music. I don't mind it, but I know, you know, I can be. Music tends to drone on puzzle games. Oh! Okay. That was... What a strain of luck that was. Come on. Dang it. Get this for me, please. Whew, okay. This one. Go away, frog. What frog think he is? I'm trying to do my puzzle games. Oh man, that piece. Oh no. I like how the explosion sound was probably... I don't know if they had like a sound library, but that's probably the same explosion sound used in the Bomberman games, the NES Bombermans. If I had to guess, it's the same sound. That sounds very, very exact. Oh, man. Here's where it comes down to luck, for the most part. Where every puzzle game... That's how most puzzle games end. No. Okay. Oh, so close. So close. This should do it. Okay. Whew. No. Oh, little spin. Got a little spin. No. Oh man, this one's got it out for me. Oh, oh. Okay, a little bit of spin magic can come a long way, I guess. I never thought of that before. Oh, twofer. Oh, come on. It wouldn't let me rotate.
Oh, they lock in place so quickly. It's really not giving me enough time to rotate these pieces. It it locks immediately when it touches the ground. Oh, come on, man. Oh, that was... I really want to beat this. Because I don't know if I've ever beaten it before. I can't say I have. If it's this hard at the end, I don't think I have. I'm just waiting for a stroke of luck. It just stacks way too quickly. Yes! Oh my god. Fine, sure, whatever. It gave me a little break from the weird pieces. Oh man. This was like my best run. Oh, come on, yeah, we're like close to normal. Should do it. Do that. Oh, garbage run. I'm gonna be quicker to say whether or not it's good. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh. Stuck here again. I was so close, man. Fuck. Okay. That was a really good run. That was probably my best one so far. Okay. Oh, I'm really trying, y'all. No, that didn't. It was bad from the beginning. Yes! Oh my god. Finally. No! Why'd you do that? Fine. What is wrong with me? I'm stacking all over the place. Oh, that makes sense. I have everything set under there. Come on. These single lines, dude.
please. Yes! They beat 50. Whew. Oh, gosh. I'm not even done yet. There's one more. There's King Kong. Oh. Okay. Keep looking out with those twofers. No, come on. Literally no time. 0 time to stack a piece. Rotate. Ugh. Okay. Two plus signs in a 3? No, no, thank you. The fact that these just start you up high makes the challenge near inobtainable. Inobtainable. Ooh. I already determined to beat this, y'all. So I had to stay up a little later. I'm fine with that. Am I, like, not rotating fast enough? I just have very little space to move up there. Up here. And then they just ruin it. Oh, come on. Oh, it locks into place so quickly. Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm figuring out these other pieces, but brother, you just gotta give me time. You gotta give me time and space. This is a tad unreasonable. We've reached unreasonable territory in terms of video game challenges. That's not to say I dislike it, because, like, it just seems like standard NES frustration. Oh, that one there, I still haven't figured out. Bad piece to start with. If it gives me something that doesn't have a way to sit. was 1. Shit. Yes. Man. They let me progress so far, and then they throw in the hard pieces. Ugh. I get explosions, but they don't help. They just make it worse. Because they're just singular explosions. Can't even rotate that one.
This really has to be possible. I'm using every resource in my brain to hold out hope for luck. There, I think it worked. A little. This might do it. Wait. Wait. Oh! Okay. Well, that was something. Not a single line? Oh, come on. Come on, please. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Bullshit. It doesn't even give you a minute to breathe.
I get these gaps and they just throw me way off. Oh god. We're almost at 4 hours. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I mean, I am determined, but I understand that this game really wants me to clock hours in to understand a single stage when it's this frustrating, this difficult. I mean, the rest of the game is fine. Play the rest of the game. I mean, it's satisfying. It's good. I don't know what happened here. They just got... They figured the only people who can make it this far are Tetris perverts.
Get my hopes up. Because that'll happen. It's so much better with threes. Now look. Wait, what? Okay. The fuck? Can I do this? Yo, that was Tetris. Bombliss. Gonna be honest, I'm upset. I mean, I'm not like, I don't hate my life, okay? I don't hate my life. It would be too extreme to get, you know, mad at something like this. It just doesn't feel good, you know? So, but it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated at a game. You just gotta watch your temper, okay? I mean, like, trust me, I'm not boiling. I'm not about to, like, punch a wall or anything. I'm upset, but I'm not, like, you know, angry or outrageously, you know, fuming. That was frustrating, though, and I didn't know what to expect. Well, I kinda did. I wasn't expecting to beat this. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be... I expected it to not be easy. So... I wasn't expecting a cakewalk. That's for sure. Yeah. But, you know, I also have to get to bed, so... I'll just leave this here, and... I won't come back to it. It's done. It's... Play this game if you like puzzle games. I mean... If you can figure out the end there... Really, it's just the last 2 levels. That's it, really. And I can't imagine... I can't imagine any speedruns of this game have used, like... a task. Because that just... How even? You know? It's not that I'm so mad that I'm, you know, still stuck thinking about it. It's just truly truly a puzzle that I can't process, that I can't understand. So, really, that is how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Um, but yeah, that's where I'll end the stream tonight. I gotta go. I gotta go to bed. So I'll 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 try to come back tomorrow. If not Tuesday, we'll see. No strict schedule. It's really like whatever I feel, whenever I feel is right for a stream. That's how I think it's gonna go from now on. Because I don't know. I struggle with strict time slots. So maybe we'll get to a point where I can, stream at 7 or 8. But we'll see. Anyway, yep, that's a stream tonight. You can follow me on Blue Sky. Miyabi-95 is my main. I post art stuff there. I'm also active on like I have an Instagram, miyabi95.info, and then I have my Fur Affinity gallery, and then my I have a Tumblr if anyone's still there. I post finished pieces there. The blue sky and Instagram are more for like sketches and like work in progress stuff. And then I post finished stuff. I post finished stuff to my galleries and whatnot. So I just feel like that gives people incentive to follow me on for Affinity and whatnot. So if you just go to my Blue Sky, there will be a card.co link. You can go there or just type in miyabi95.card.co and it'll take you to a little site with blurbs about what I do, and then it'll have my socials at the bottom, all of my galleries and stuff. And then Ohio Bonjour on Blue Sky is my alt account for streaming and other stuff. And that's it. Oh, I also have a YouTube. Ohio Bonjour is where all my VODs go, I think. Yeah. Ohio Bonjour is where all my VODs go. I have B95 for art videos and stuff. I feel like art time lapses and stuff. Go there, and I hope you like what I have. That's where I'll end the stream. So good night, everybody. I will come back with platforming games like Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Cave Story. Gotta get through Cave Story. I already like kind of don't remember where I left off, so I'll have to go through the VOD and see where I left off. And that's it. Good night, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.